Hello, and I just want to start off this video by saying sorry for uploading this video a little later than I normally do. The reason that I have done this is because after I've finished filming and editing the video you're just about to see, this kind of happened to my Delorean. It's a problem that's happened now twice, and that's the wheel just completely snapped off. You can see here that it has just snapped off at that very flimsy hinge for the hover conversion motion. And you'll see here that it is, it's sheared off here as well. I'm asking, really, has anyone else experienced this problem? If so, how do you avoid it happening? Because it's happened quite a lot of me now. It does still attach with the magnet. I can still turn it, but the hover conversion of the Delorean is mullered if this thing keeps happening. So has this happened to other people? Is it just me? And also, has anyone got a spare issue 5 or issue 6? I'm pretty sure it's issue 5 that this piece comes in, but I'm not entirely sure. And any tips that you have of avoiding it, if you haven't done it, anything like that, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll be very, very grateful. If I'm doing something completely wrong, please tell me. So thank you for listening to me in this part. On with the rest of the video. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Build the Back to the Future DeLorean. This time we're going to be focusing on the power. That's the power of love. Not the power of love, sorry. We're going to be focusing on the power of the DeLorean because we're going to be looking at the battery box. This whole video is about fitting the battery box. So without further ado, let's get started by looking at what comes in issue 32. So issue 32 then does come with the main part of the battery box, the part that holds the batteries. And we also have this wire and this on-off switch here. Now, after dealing with all the wires last week with R2-D2, they were quite thick wires. These wires feel really fiddly, so I am very, very cautious not to damage them. You should be too. Make sure you take care in putting all of this part together so that no wires are damaged. As you can see, I've already got it caught up here. I think it's meant to be like that though, so that's okay. So the first thing you do is you make sure that all of these 3 prongs are aligned with these prongs here, and make sure the wires come through this way. So there's a little gap there for the wires to come through basically. Make sure you have all this lined up before you start screwing anything in. Also, this on-off switch needs to be positioned in this box as well. This is so fiddly. Very, very fiddly. I want to make sure I get that right. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that is the on-off switch. Oh, it does click into place. Very nice. Okay, so the on-off switch is there like that. Very simple switch. Does work very well, and that is in place. Make sure all the other wires come through this hole here, and then we screw down the battery box. And you screw them in using FP screws, and when it's done it will look like this. Okay, right, so the next thing you do is you get your DeLorean, which you can see I've got mine here, and then you turn this piece upside down and you feed it through there like that, and it fits very, very nicely in there as well. This pipe doesn't get in the way, this pipe doesn't get in the way. It is a very, very nice fit, and I love the fact that they've put the batteries in the fuel tank because that's what the fuel's going to be. Genius, isn't it? I love it. You then need to thread these wires through here like this, and you'll see it's got a selection of just 2 screw ports one there, and another one just there. We have these parts supplied in issue 32, and these parts are to hold down the wires in place. And then of course we have connecting ports to all the lights that are going to happen on this DeLorean. So I'm just going to attach these parts, and when I've done that I'll be right back with you. And I'm sorry for not doing that on camera, it was just a little too fiddly for me to risk, but I didn't need to worry because it was actually really nice. It's really nicely designed. I love these little parts. One thing we had with the cable ties with R2-D2 last week, for those of you who watched that video, was a problem where I didn't have enough give on the cable to get the plug in when everything else was connected. With this design, rather than cable ties, you can move the wire quite freely to give yourself more give. So I can have no give on that side, you see it's right there, more give in the middle, and then if I push this through, you know, really love this design, really love it, especially in direct comparison to the R2-D2 last week. I love it, and yeah, it fits in very nicely. And then this part just keeps safe. Maybe give more give there so that this part has a nice home, stable home to go in, rather than hang over the side and get damaged or anything like that, especially when we flip it over, because we do need to flip it over now and secure it this side. Now the instructions say to do this first, but I don't think it matters so much. We just secure it with FP screws into that hole there, and I believe that hole there, so I'm just going to go and do that now. And there we have the battery compartment, nice and screwed in. The switch is still working, that's hard to say, and the wires do feed through there. And because it is already turned over now, it is all ready for us to move on to issue 33, which has this part here. So you just put this over the top there, like that, to cover it all up. You'll see, let me just show you actually, you've got off and on there, and really nice detailing on this part, loving that. So we just put that over there, make sure that the switch still works, which it does, and then you just screw it to get down with these 4 holes. Okay, so as you can see, I only screwed down 4 of the 6. That is because these 2 take LM screws, and I have misplaced my LM screw packet. I thought I saw something fly away, and I don't know where it's gone, but I will find it and I will attach it at a later date, and those 2 screws there are LM screws. So just to finish off then with this video and with this battery box, you just need the battery box cover, and it just goes in there like that, like a regular battery box cover, and just clips in. Oh, crikey, actually, is that going in? Why isn't that going in? It makes me think I've done something wrong, because that should just clip in there like that. Oh, and it does. It's just a bit of a tight squeeze. There we go. So there we have the battery box all complete, and then of course we just pull that. Oh, it's tight, this. Yeah, just open that up to put the batteries in. I'm not going to do that now. I will put that in when we need batteries, and that is really nice. That is the fuel tank all done. That is the battery box all installed, and yeah, it is very nicely done. Really like the way that they've done this. Very happy with these 2 issues at a whole. I'm very happy with these wires. I'm very happy with the DeLorean. Very happy. I really want all the pieces now. I'm being a bit impatient, actually, not selfish. I just want to get it done. I want to get it built. Very exciting, and I hope that you have enjoyed watching me build it as much as I've enjoyed building it. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to be looking at more of the front end. I know we've got some wheel covers and stuff like that, really bulking it up this way now rather than long way, so that is very exciting. So I hope you'll join me for that. Until then, guys, I'm going to find those screws and screw those 2 parts in. You guys have a good time. Take care. Bye-bye.